Till that when you eat a lot of green vegetables, some chlorophyll remains intact, and when they pass through blood vessels near the surface of your skin, they engage in photosynthesis and you produce ATP, obviously in very small, but still. This would be an awesome way to try to get kids to eat more green veggies, dude, it'll turn you into part plant. Who's down with ATP? Yeah, you know me. I worked with a guy who had like 3 huge spinach smoothies every day. His skin was green. I mean, pretty damn green. I didn't like to look at him. I am told the green skin is probably not a direct result of the spinach. Probably a separate condition. I don't know. Don't leave us hanging. In very small. What? Is this what Piccolo does? What's ATP? Mitochondria, I am the powerhouse here. Coloplast, crawling out of some dope lettuce, I got a day to live and no F. S to give, let's go you Unisleeler scrub. I found this highly improbable, so I decided to give the linked article a read. It was a fairly easy to understand study, so let me try to summarize it. I'm a trained geneticist but not a biochemist. My understanding of biochemistry comes from college classes and some relevant papers I've read over the years. TLDR, the paper does not at all support OP's claim. Background: all cellular life forms produce ATP, direct energy source for biochemical reactions, through cellular respiration. Eukaryotes, including plants and animals, rely mainly on mitochondria to produce ATP. Mitochondria do so by consuming carbohydrates, water, and oxygen, producing ATP, CO2, and water in the process. Green leaf plants have another structure in their cells called chloroplasts. These organelles contain chlorophyll and through a complex chain of reactions, can consume water, CO2, and photon energy, sunlight, to produce carbohydrates and oxygen. This process is called photosynthesis and is the source of almost all biological energy on Earth. The study first discovered that when added a chlorophyll metabolite PA and exposed to red light, mitochondria isolate from mice have increased ATP production and oxygen consumption. Here are 2 key things to notice. This was done in a mitochondria isolate, which is in very different environment than a mitochondria in our cells, and secondly, the increased oxygen consumption is inconsistent with photosynthesis, which produces oxygen and should therefore decrease oxygen consumption. The authors then did some experiments and went into a hypothesis on why PA seems to increase mitochondria activity when exposed to light, but I won't get into detail here as it doesn't relate to the topic of this post. The study then demonstrated similar phenomenon in mouse brain homogenates, basically take the whole brain and smash it into a juice. Again, this is very different than in vivo, in living organisms. The study then showed that PA appears to localize in mitochondria in the liver homogenate using a light absorption assay. This assay is a strong evidence for but far from a definite proof of PA localization in mitochondria in liver homogenate, and PA appears to be distributed through plasma and stored in fat cells in mice. The study provided some evidence that C. elegans, a very tiny worm, incubated with PA have increased ATP production when exposed to light. So to conclude, this study did not provide any direct evidence that photosynthesis is taking place at all in animals with plant dietary. It did, however, discover a potentially interesting way animal tissues utilize chlorophyll metabolites and a potential explanation for an observation that red light has some impact on many biochemical processes in animals. A most plausible explanation, not proven, for this study's discovery, as noted by the authors, is that PA is sequestered to aid in reduction of CoQ10, a critical enzyme in cellular respiration, and therefore increasing rate of cellular respiration. Does this do anything for us? Like, do we get any energy from the chlorophyll? Like maybe a strawberry's worth? And if we had enough of them, do we still need to eat? How about we inject ourselves with chlorophyll? No need for food, yabby. Are you saying vegans are technically plants, so therefore vegans can eat other vegans? Because that's what I took away from this. Very interesting science article, but the title of the post doesn't actually reflect what the article is about. Ops description is wrong. The paper states that chlorophyll enhances mitochondrial oxidative phosphorylation in response to sunlight. That is not photosynthesis. I am become plant. Asterisk eats handful of grass. Chlorophyll. More like borophyll. Abilities, some consider to be unnatural. Chloroplasts. The mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. You are what you eat. Obligatory in a nutshell video on ADP. https://youtube.b/qimcld9yb. Now I know I'm photosynthesizing with that salad I ate while I sunbathe, and it just multiplied my already sky-high enjoyment of both. So, if I eat plant, I became plant, for a sure while though. This is how other species have also developed photosynthesis. If there are enough vegetarians and vegans, this might actually be a thing in a couple thousand years. Beaming face with smiling eyes. So what you're saying is, if I eat enough vegetables, I can become the green giant. So all those jokes about vegans photosynthesizing were true. Exploding head. The GRU had a man with that ability in its Cobra unit. Chlorophyll. More like borophyll. Chlorophyll. More like borophyll. The ignorance of some of these responses is painful. Chlorophyll. More like borophyll. Am I right? So, you didn't actually read the article and decided to post it? Nice work. Well done for misleading 22,000 people. Chlorophyll more like borophyll. Chlorophyll. More like borophyll. How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man? You are what you eat? Chlorophyll more like borophyll. Today I learned I don't have a clue what ADP is. Big thing to be aware of is this was only demonstrated in the nematode C. elegans, not humans or mammals. Yet. Also the chlorophyll doesn't make the ADP, it helps enable endogenous mitochondria in the animal make additional ADP. I wonder if there's a correlation between people who eat lots of green vegetables and the amount of time spent outside. I could be wrong, but I don't think of basement dwellers as eating a lot of salads. These are the things I'm on this sub for. Thanks. How the hell a chlorophyll remains intact when passing the intestine to the portal veins? Can someone explain? I'm currently playing Final Fantasy VII Remake and having the added ADP would be helpful. This makes me curious. Have any mad scientist tried to engineer photosynthesis into an animal? Seems an incredibly beneficial trait. So basically I'm Kirby. So basically if you eat enough green vegetables you can produce enough ADP to become Superman. Chlorophyll. More like borophyll. So sorry to interrupt. All I read is if I manage to eat enough green veggies, I will never have to eat again and will have become the first man/cruciferous hybrid. Oh yeah, sure, ADP, we all know what that is and why that's interesting. Do you love me? Or are you just playing love games with me? The mitochondria is strong in this one. After I gave birth my iron was low, so I was eating so much spinach, like so much. One day, I was pumping at work and lo and behold, my milk was green. Not like green eggs and ham green. More like green tinted. I thought I was dying and called my doctor immediately. Turns out, totally normal. Freaky, but normal. I am Groot. I can produce adenosine triphosphate. I finally get to use that word after learning it over 18 years ago. If true, is this even a good thing? Would you want unregulated production of ADP in your skin? I'm dumb, someone tell me what ADP is. Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Just shoot up chlorophyll in saline solution and transcend the need of eating. Sorry, what is ADP? I eat a large salad almost every single day. So this is cool. I am vegetal. Thank you. Literally plant powered. Obviously in very small. So can we produce this on a massive scale so I can stop eating and purely photosynthesize? Whoa. Thank you ecology, green matter, and chlorophyll. So you become a hybrid.